welcome back to the channel. And before we get into how I feel about this game, about Scotland and Haiti, probably wondering to yourself, where did I get this hat from? Well, I did actually get it a few days ago because I was like, you know what? Scotland World Cup, we got matches coming up, and because of how I actually end up going to see it on a night out, I'm like, you know what, might as well have a bit of fun and make it more interesting for myself. So end up getting myself a Jimmy hat, so done that, and I will just quickly show you whereabouts I went to watch this comedy. Went to watch it because I did actually go and see it in a comedy event, and it was quite good atmosphere and that. So yeah, here it is here. Scotland Haiti obviously watch along, and you've got this as well, Susie McCabe and Scott Agnew. They were telling certain jokes and things about the World Cup and all of that, and I have to say that that was quite good. And they also had the Morocco and Brazil game on first, which I'll be honest, it was actually a pretty alright game. That Brazil and Morocco end up drawing one each, so it meant Scotland Scotland actually top the table as well in this, obviously, in this situation in the World Cup right now. As it stands, Scotland are top of the table, which is quite historic because obviously they did say that it was actually the first time Scotland ever won at the World Cup in about, was it 1990 or something mental like that? And honestly, in terms of an atmosphere, in terms of an experience, I would love to do this again for anything because it's like you get to see all the fans there, interact with people, have a bit of banter, socialise, and then you get to sing Flower of Scotland, and then you get to sing Yes Sir, I Can Boogie, and all that sort of thing. That was all great, and I enjoyed myself. The comedians were funny as well. They just told jokes about Scotland and the history of Scotland in the World Cup and how obviously it's been 28 years, so they were using that as as material for their jokes, and I found quite a lot of it funny, and it was quite entertaining that way. And the match itself, I have to be honest that this was a really standout performance from the Scottish national team, and it's trying not to be as biased as possible here, but because it's, went out and seen it live, it just had this type of aura about it where just had so much excitement about it, and the way it panned out and the way you're starting to sing with everyone and all of that, and then you start chatting about John McGinn, super John McGinn, better than Zidane, because what a goal that was, because McTominay hits the post and stuff like that, and then when John McGinn puts that ball in the back of the net, it's like wow, like how the ball moves around and all of that is quite cool. And I have ended up rewatching the goal because it's a really good goal. It's a pretty random goal where it's not typical of John McGinn to score or any player to score. Like the ball bounces off of the defender, rolls in the net, but it was still a good, tidy finish. And when he scored it, the eruption in that room when it happened was amazing. So I liked that. I also liked that they did actually have music on as well, so you could just kind of vibe slowly as the comedians were coming on as well. And I did like it because, you had the music, but they eventually obviously stopped all the music so you could watch the game in its full capacity. And the thing about how it was on till 4 in the morning just didn't bother me because of that atmosphere. It was great. So overall, I enjoyed this, and I would like to do this again. Unfortunately, can't go and see Morocco and Scotland in the same place at the Stand Comedy Club or even the Brazil one just because it's sold out. But I'll still be tuning into the other matches. But it's really good to have. It was really good to have the obviously the atmosphere for the first game because it built the context for what Scotland was about to do, and we will see if Scotland get continuously good in this World Cup, and I hope Scotland make it through the knockout stages and things like that. And not gonna say that Scotland are gonna win the World Cup, obviously not, but we'd just love to see Scotland progress, maybe get to the last 16 or something. Would love to see that. So overall, it was a good game. And you could say, well, oh, we should have scored more goals, but sometimes in a game of football, it's about getting the job done. and doesn't always mean it's gonna be pretty and perfection and all that. Sometimes it's just an easy 1-0 win, and that's all it was, you know. So overall, yeah, I enjoyed the whole thing. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. Enjoyed myself and had a good time. So stay tuned for more reviews like this one, and see you after for more reviews on the channel. Goodbye.